the days when Judah trembled under the shadow of Babylon, when kings were no longer strong and prophets cried out warnings few wanted to hear, there lived a man named Abdi. His name meant servant of God. Yet his presence in Scripture is but a whisper, one verse, one moment, tucked into the fiery tapestry of Jeremiah's ministry. The time was dark. King Jehoiakim sat on the throne, a ruler proud and obstinate, unwilling to listen to the voice of the Lord. The prophet Jeremiah had spoken hard truths to the nation, warning of judgment, of conquest, of cities laid waste. But truth, when it burns, is often rejected. The king did not welcome these messages. He saw Jeremiah as a troublemaker, one who stirred unrest, one who dared to challenge the comfort of sin with the call of righteousness. Jeremiah had written the words of the Lord on a scroll. Baruch, his faithful scribe, had read them in the temple. And when those words reached the ears of the officials, fear stirred in some hearts. They brought the scroll to the king. One winter day, as the fire blazed in a brazier beside him, Jehoiakim cut the scroll into pieces, column by column, and burned it. But among the king's court were men sent to seize Baruch and Jeremiah. Abdi's son, Shemaiah, was one of them. The scriptures mention Abdi only once, in Jeremiah 36, verse 26. The king commanded Jeremiel the king's son, Seraiah son of Azriel, and Shemaiah son of Abdi to arrest Baruch the scribe and Jeremiah the prophet. But the Lord had hidden them. Abdi, though not the central actor, lived in a time of tension between obedience and rebellion. His son was chosen by the king to silence the voice of prophecy. What does that say of Abdi? Was he a loyal servant of God who grieved his son's role in the king's command? Or was he simply a man caught in the machinery of a nation spiraling into judgment? Perhaps Abdi had once stood in the courts of Josiah, the good king, and watched as revival spread across the land. Maybe he had taught his son the laws of Moses, shared stories of Egypt, of Sinai, of covenant and fire. But then Josiah fell in battle. Egypt rose. Babylon advanced. And in the swirl of politics and fear, loyalties blurred. Did Abdi's heart break when Shemaiah left to hunt down the prophet of God? Or did he bow his head in silence, torn between fear and faith? The Bible does not say. But his name, Abdi, servant of God, still lingers like a question. In the chaos of a collapsing kingdom, when voices were silenced and truth was thrown to the flames, perhaps Abdi stood quietly in the shadows. Perhaps he remembered the words of the prophets even when others forgot. Perhaps he prayed even when no answer came. And perhaps the Lord remembered him, not for the brief mention in the scrolls, but for the unseen posture of his heart. In a world where kings burned scrolls and prophets were hunted, even a father's name, even a single moment, could carry weight. Abdi, servant of God, may have been one of the few who still feared the Lord in the time of rebellion. History passed him by in silence, but heaven never forgets the quiet faithful.